Stalker 2 has gone gold. Let me break down everything relevant about my most anticipated game this year. The game is an open-world, post-apocalyptic survival shooter set in the Chornobyl Exclusion Zone. You play as this guy called Skif, who's basically a newcomer to the zone. He's meant to be kind of mysterious, and while he doesn't talk much, how his story plays out is up to you. The game actually has 4 different endings based on how you play. The world itself is definitely gonna be massive. We are talking about 60 square kilometers spread across 20 different regions that are all completely seamless. Pretty much everything is handcrafted. There is no procedural generation, which is just so important for a game like this that lives off its atmosphere and its environmental storytelling. You can just walk around and find random events happening as well, like maybe stumbling across someone who needs help, which could possibly lead you down a whole new questline. Stuff like that is definitely what I expect. Now, these survival aspects are pretty serious, and this game is not gonna hold our hand, which of course is exactly what we expect from this game. We have to manage basic stuff like hunger and fatigue, but there's also radiation to worry about. Gear can break down, and guns can jam, probably at the worst possible moment. Now, this game has things called anomalies. These are like weird zones of physics-defying danger. Some of these can actually be helpful, like this thing called a cushion that stops you from taking fall damage, but others will just straight up torch you with a column of fire, for example. Anomalies are not just random, deadly spots. They also often have valuable things called artifacts, which can give you beneficial side effects when equipped, but many stalkers sell them to traders, who in turn sell them to high-profile buyers. Stalker 2 avoids traditional leveling systems. You will not see any level 1 to level 80 progression or something like that. Instead, your growth as a player comes from actually learning the environment better and developing faster reactions. For weapons, we've got about 35 different guns. That might not sound like a lot compared to some games, but each one can be extensively customized with different attachments and upgrades, and will also have to be maintained and repaired. The developers have put a lot of work into their AI system for NPCs and enemies. They won't just magically know your precise location, unless of course you are directly in line of sight, but otherwise they will have to make educated guesses about where you might be, based on what was shown. It seems as if they actually go through different hypotheses trying to find you. Of course, proper AI systems like that are always an ambitious task to implement, but if the developers continue to respond to potential bugs concerning the system, then this has in my eyes the potential to be a great and authentic system. Speaking of authentic, the faction system is supposed to be much more refined as well, with each faction having their own routine lifestyle and their own way of responding to things and setting up their camps. The game has difficulty options, but even on normal difficulty, the developers say it's going to be really tough. The main story is about 30 to 40 hours long, but it's said that if we want to see everything, we're looking at about 100 hours. I think what most players are looking forward to is just the feeling of existing in this world. Everything we have seen so far hints at a gorgeous, authentic world with great environmental storytelling and meaningful exploration. And that sentence concludes today's video. If your time was respected, a like or comment is very much appreciated.